So I'm Andrew, I'm from OSL, moral support for Brian. What keeps you up, as people who are in the custody space, what keeps you up at night? What worries you?
So I'm going to answer that because as a technologist, as people that actually need to keep it running, attack, hacks, events that actually happens, that is the biggest headache. Ethereum going to fall, right? So what that basically means. So those kind of things that are actually happening is keeping me awake, right? Is the next morning I wake up, okay, is there any funny things that actually happens, any vulnerabilities around that? So that's the hardest thing in the custody space, and that's what keeps me awake.
Yeah, I agree. I think hacks and there's I think in this space, what I've experienced is that you have kind of contenders and you have pretenders, and I'm not gonna lie. There's been some organizations that we've seen that have kind of built, like knockoff products of even Ledger, where the instruction manual is a carbon copy of what we have, but and this is a bit of a threat, because at the end of the day, like, it's less about Ledger, but if there are individuals that they're more about kind of just monetizing but not actually bringing kind of best-in-class standards, and then hacks are happening or things are happening, we all lose at the end of the day, because it becomes another kind of drawback within the asset class.
Well, obviously waking up to find that someone's stolen everything, but also AML risk for us, if you think about it. Waking up one day to find that you facilitated the financing of terrorism, I think is something. Again, I think as custodian, it's our responsibility. Everything that passes through our care, and the first question is always, where's the money coming from, where's it going to, who are you? All the same questions a bank would ask, I guess.
So, any other questions? Yes, please, gentlemen. Please tell us your name.
Hello. Alright, I'm Martin, I'm from Australia. So yeah, I work for Blockbox, so we're a blockchain management consulting firm, but I'm just a marketing consultant. So yeah, I guess we also do a bit of education. I just blockchain solutions for enterprise as well, and incubation. But I was just wondering, what's your guys' opinions in regards to like atomic swaps, so the interoperability of like, I guess, financial assets. And yeah, it does relate to a bit of custodial services as well, but mainly in regards to atomic swaps.
So we talk to the technologists here.
Yeah, I mean, I love atomic swap, right? It's fantastic. The whole idea of blockchain is intermediate. Atomic swap actually kind of like provide that ability. It's fantastic, but really, can it actually replace the traditional market making? We have DEX around, right? It has been there, and then it hasn't replaced all the centralized exchange. Can atomic swap do that? I don't know. It would have been another solution, but it would not be a full replacement of what we have right now. But it's definitely an interesting technology space.
I think people have come to marketplaces since there were people to trade things efficiently, right? Marketplaces provide price discovery, they provide a meeting of buyers and sellers, and I'm not sure you can build a lot of those things into decentralized exchanges, but then, where's the line exactly? And certainly I think regulators have taken the stance that, hey, if someone is operating a decentralized exchange, I don't really care if you say that technically the asset was swapped between two parties, I'm still going to look to you as a centralized party to do AML, for example. So I don't think it solves those problems. And if you have a completely blind exchange that isn't run by anybody, you really do have peer-to-peer transfers with no full price discovery, then what's the, are you really an exchange, I guess is my question.
Right?
Yeah, I think both these guys have covered it, because to Henry's point, like, I think you've always had kind of a OTC or something decentralized, right? Like Craigslist, you could theoretically call it even a kind of decentralized marketplace. So I think at the end of the day, you're not going to have one replace the other. But if you ask me, like, will technology become better, where at some point centralized exchanges will be potentially operating the security level as a decentralized exchange? I think that will happen. But I think you're going to kind of see a blend and a merge between the two, but I don't think it's going to be kind of a binary outcome at the end of the day.
So two more questions. Anyone from the floor? Anyone else? No, please.
Let me take this one.
And gentleman in the back for the next question. Oh, you have a question?
So this is Dylan from Cibor Capital. So maybe let me ask a little bit more sensitive question. So what is your view about the crypto developments in mainland China? So maybe like after all the infrastructure have been built, for example, custodial solution, do you think that the restrictions on crypto will be relaxed in mainland China?
Thankfully, I'm the moderator today.
Yeah, I spent a good amount of time. I actually lived in China for a couple of years myself. So I think China has a very divided view about crypto and blockchain, right? And so they actually see the two as completely separate. They look at blockchain as technology. They look at crypto as a currency. Now, if I think the support around like blockchain application in China is actually very, very strong. Now, will it be kind of something that's like fully decentralized? I don't think it will be. It'll be either, you call it a semi-public or a semi-private blockchain, and you're probably going to see consortium models, I think, kind of emerge in that marketplace. So I think they will leverage the technology, and the way it's going to be leveraged is you may still have some form of a coin or token that's established, a utility token, but I think instead of utility token, let's say, being traded amongst 20 banks, it may be used as a way of assigning cost, the cost of how to maintain that blockchain infrastructure going forward. So I think China is supportive of it, and the biggest challenge right now is just crypto becomes the biggest capital controls threat for China, and that's really the reason. If there was a way to actually prevent that, I don't think there would be a huge problem with it.
Yes.
Great. So great summary. So like I have one gentleman in the back, and after it's your turn again. Please.
Hi.
Yes.
My name is Hoy. I'm a lawyer, technology lawyer from Ashurst in Hong Kong. Question for the panel. Benjamin, I think you mentioned earlier insurance. Its importance for the ecosystem. I was hoping all of the panel can expand a little bit more the importance of insurance and their dealings with insurers. I can say I've asked a couple of insurers in Hong Kong informally on behalf of clients and have gone absolutely nowhere in relation to crypto assets.
So I'll talk about how at Ledger, how we're trying to solve the problem. I think talking to the insurance company itself, I don't think that's going to really resolve the issue we have. So at Ledger, what we've done is we've been focusing our time actually with the reinsurance company because they're actually the ultimate individuals taking the risk. So we've actually targeted some of the biggest reinsurers, Swiss Re, and a few others, Munich Re, because I think if you have these individuals comfortable with insuring into this asset class, then at the end, the insurance to us is really a middleman, kind of a broker for for the services. So I think, but now the problem is, how do you got to really connect a technology team or an engineering team to talk to the insurance side's technology team, engineering team. So this education process, you can see like there's a big broken telephone right now. Actually, we have a team this week that has gone from Paris over to London, meeting with Munich Re's team, technology team as well. So hopefully we're going to make some progress around it because I think that's going to be the only way you're going to be able to accelerate that process.
Very good gems today. Any other questions? So, Brian, you want to answer that?
No, it's difficult. Well, BC Group actually have insurance on that. Obviously, I can't review much about it. But generally, it's like they're not expert in that, so there's a lot of communications and application happening to get that actually comfortable. So basically, how it works right now is actually on the pyramid. That's what Ben says. If you get the first few actually getting in, the rest of them actually comes in. So it'll be making things much easier.
So again.
So I'd like your views on stable coins. Do you think they're required to onboard the masses under crypto, or they just go against the whole idea of a decentralized currency?
I think they're a great idea, and I think the best person to run them are central banks. Although let me rephrase that. I am extremely certain that at some point, central banks will issue digital currencies. There's no reason not to. It provides every benefit, easier to run monetary policy, better tracing of currencies. Already in most countries, there's a massive war on cash. Like I said, you cannot show up to a bank branch, deposit $5 million, precisely because people want to be able to trace assets through systems. And the best way to do that is to just switch to a ledger-based currency. So that will definitely happen. Whether you can create a stable coin that will supersede central bank digital currencies, maybe.
I just think I think it really depends. If you're in a bull market, nobody cares about stable coins. When you're in a bear market, everybody cares about stable coins. So when I look at late 2017, early 2018, no one would be trying to do any sort of hedge moving Bitcoin or Ether into stable coins. You know, you're kind of launching ICO, and then as you kind of progress to the middle of 2018, everybody's kind of scrambling now all of a sudden to look for stable coins. But I agree with Henry. I think there is a longer term kind of practical use case for it, but you know, it's hard because a lot of the stable coins so far have been issued by, you know, particular exchanges. So, you know, with something like TUSD, something that's a little more so-called decentralized or independent, maybe those stable coins will be kind of have higher adoption.
Practically, if you're doing trading, so and the market is so volatile, you need a place to park it. It's either parked in fiat or parked in stablecoin. So from that purpose, you definitely need stablecoin. Who's going to issue that? I mean, I do not know. I don't have the answer. Is it central bank? No idea about it. But for now, you definitely need it for large traders trading kind of stuff.
I mean, so our issue is we're trying to tokenize real estate and pay out like the rental income automatically through a smart contract. And you need crypto. We're not going to be paying people in Rebecca fees. So that's kind of like what we're trying to achieve, but we don't have a stable coin here in Hong Kong that I'm aware of. Anyway, and I don't know if the central banks are the ones we want doing this, but anyway, I appreciate your views.
So, like, I think thank you a lot for our great panel over here today to share with us on custodial services. You've asked some of us in the panel a lot of questions. Now, I have a question for you, everyone here today. Like, what are you in this industry for the long haul? And if you are really in this industry for the long haul, I hope that today was a great, you know, insight on the development of custodial services for the industry. And just think of it, if you need some custodial services, or if you have any ideas or any leads who might be interested, please approach this gentleman here. Once again, thank you so much for your time here tonight. And please make a few friends, have some drinks, and you know, well, sorry?
There's more food.
Oh yeah, and please, everyone is here for the food, so please finish up the food before you leave. If not, we're going to shut the door and not allow anyone out. So, but yes, please feel free to mingle around. And again, once again, I'd like to say thank you to Genesis Block for offering us this fantastic place. And thank you, Charles. Thank you so much.
So please join our Crypto Asset Federation. There's a QR code in the front. Just fill out a simple 4 or 5 questions.
Yeah.
Feel free to join.
Yeah, and also I'd like to thank our beer sponsors. So Michael is not here today. I'll still like to say a very big thank you to Michael, who's been sponsoring it for all events. Every single event has been happily sponsoring us beer, which is the most important thing here tonight. So please give a round of applause to Michael who's not here today, but please join to it as a graduation. At least you're gonna have free beer here. Thank you so much. Thank you.